the Olympic sprinter with a racket in her hand, the great Coco Gauff, the best pure athlete on the tour, okay, quicker than quick, faster than fast. Even when she hits a short ball, she can live another day with that amazing speed. Incredible athletic family. Both her parents played high-level competition. The brothers, one of the best middle school quarterbacks in the United States. You talk about athletic genes, and we're all fortunate that she grabbed a racket, and she's America's finest. What I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about her serve. It's been very much aligned. It's a weapon, but it's also a liability, as we've seen with all the double faults. This is going to be a little bit different. Not only am I going to explain the things that aren't really correct from a science point of view, but my remedy, and I think this could be fixed very easily. First, the vanilla. You see how she's standing. Her left foot's kind of at the net post, her right foot's kind of parallel. She has a continental grip. She kind of lets the racket relax. The left arm goes up, the racket goes back. The one good thing here, the racket does stay more on the hitting side, goes into the right scapula area. A lot of players on the tour, the racket goes to the other side of the body and the swing is too big. So there's a lot to work with, and that's why I think her serve is also a weapon. She's wiry, she has fast twitch muscles, she has very, very loose arm, and believe it or not, her arm is a little longer, okay, than most players. So the levers, it's a weapon because she's get more whip, but it also can be a little disruptive because a lot more is going on. Now, let's talk about the toss, okay? Whether it's too high or too low, she has a very high ball toss. The ball comes down 8 to 12 inches. That's a little tricky. It's not wrong as long as you elevate and go get it, but more can go wrong, especially on a windy day. So that's one thing that could be discussed about the height of the ball toss, but it's all been synchronized for a long time. There's a lot of muscle memory, and I'm sure since she was a little kid, the serve's improved a lot, but that becomes a little tricky when the ball is that high, and then you're letting it come down that much. But you can pull it off, especially if your vertical component is good. Now, Coco does what we call a pinpoint stance. What that means is she's bringing her back foot up, okay, and then she puts the feet together to elevate. The problem with this right now, the position of her right foot, if you look right now, it's on the outside of the front foot. That's not optimal, and that's not ideal. See where that foot is? It's on the outside of the left foot. Now, what happens there, the weight from a science point of view is on the right groin, and it should be behind the right hip. So she can't even load the system, the body's the system. She can't even get the proper weight on the back foot because the weight is already on the outside and forward. The weight is already forward because the angle of the right foot. Now, one of the ripples from this, and we've heard a lot of commentators and Monday morning quarterbacks, they look at the symptom. They don't know the culprit or the cause and the effect. Because when the right foot for Coco or anybody else is too much to the right, what's going to happen is the head will prematurely drop the other side of the body, okay, and the left shoulder will come down too soon. That will cause the trunk to rotate too early. So the kinetic chain is not perfectly synchronized like 1, 2, 3, 4 because of just the angle of the right foot. If you do 10 million of anything, you can pull it off. But this is going to be a slippery slope because the foot should be behind the left foot and pretty much in the middle of the arch. You can see she's on the outside. It's going to cause the left side to come down way too early, and then the head's going to move also. And people are identifying this. It is a symptom. It's a byproduct, okay? It's the effect. It's not the cause. But this is one of the ripples I've seen over my career with many players. And then you got someone as athletic and wiry as Coco. It's kind of a little more inflammatory because of this, because she's trying to crush the ball. Now, to back the truck up a little bit more, on the deuce court, you've heard me say she has one of the best slice serves, and she's up there with the great Serena. Okay, think about it. When you over rotate a little bit or your foot's to the right side, what's going to be your bread and butter? Your bread and butter is going to be the slice serve. She's hit more aces on the deuce court wide than up the middle. Hello, hello. Okay, she gets that for free. Okay, so, but the technical, okay, should be the most important, and then you should be able to hit it anywhere. The way she's setting up is dictating what's her best serve. So it's a little bit backwards, but it is what it is. She pulls this off a little better on the first serve than the second serve because there might be a little more pressure, and obviously you're hitting top spin. Now, there's many other things going on here. Because of the right foot being too far to the outside, the angle of the right hip never really coils away. Look at her right hip. She takes the racket back. The right foot's going to go too far to the right. Look at her right hip. It never really turns a little bit correctly. Okay? I do like the angle of the right knee. It is parallel to baseline. A lot of players, especially on the WTA Tour, the left foot or the left knee is forward too soon. But if you look at the foot one more time, look at the right hip, it never really turns that much. So you don't get this coil, recoil. These are some of the things that I see with Coco's serve, and if she stuck with this and she did the pinpoint, she should put the foot in a different place. That alone would increase her vertical component a couple inches. The angle of descent, what I mean by that, the angle of the ball would come in more like an airplane. It would be coming in at a very different angle, and it'd be easier for her to hit up and out. Now, to correct this, what I would do is I'd back the truck up way, way further, and I would change the whole serve. I would not do the pinpoint anymore. I would go to a pure platform. From a science point of view, everybody has to understand a platform is a little better because there's less moving parts. Hello, if there's less moving parts, that means more can go right and wrong. So, but a lot of girls growing up in junior tennis, they do the pinpoint, not saying it's wrong. You see Sinner do it, you see Alcaraz. I'm just saying a lot of girls do this. They get more forward energy and momentum, but they end up going too linear and they never learn the vertical component. If Coco went to a platform, I guarantee, okay, it would take a little time, but her upward movement, the vertical part of the serve, she'd be up, right up like a rocket, like the great Andy Roddick, straight up like a light pole. It would change the whole landscape, but more importantly, it would confuse the brain. The muscle memory would be going, what the heck is this all about? Because she's never done it. If she did platform, it would change everything. Because what we're hearing now from a lot of people are the symptoms that I pointed out, but she goes forward too early. This would keep her weight back. The weight would automatically stay back longer. She would explode up and out, and it would have changed everything. And I guarantee, with the right guidance, okay, and the right insight, the double faults would become history, okay? And I guarantee her second serve wouldn't be a mystery. Okay, we know it's going to go in. And also a byproduct from this, her kicker would be hopping like a jackrabbit. Her kicker would be going up a lot more. The only way to really make this the best serve in the world, I'd go to a platform. It would like be starting over, but with her, she could learn it because she's the best athlete on the tour. And even with these little issues going on, I have no doubt Coco can still be #1 in the world.